We are just about ready for our next run with ZELLLOO running Cytus. I believe it's Cytus Alpha. But before we do, I've been remiss in forgetting to remind everybody that we have partnered up with the Yeti to bring shirts based on various runs throughout the event. The awesome designs will only be around as long as the marathon is. So if you'd like them to be off for longer, you should unlock more of our showcases. But also, you should pick them up right away anyway. And $5 from each shirt will go directly to the Trevor Project. And you can find out all those designs at theyeti.com. I'm going to pass the event off to ZELLLOO with the Cytus run. Take it away.
Thank you, Sushi. Hi, everyone. I'm ZELLLOO or ZELLLOO, however you want to say it. Never matters. So this is going to be my last run for the marathon. This is going to be Cytus Alpha. This is a remake of the original Cytus by who's the company again? Shoot, Rayark, that's right. I'm drawing a blank already. So this is going to be a fun hand rhythm music game, a little bit different from normal. And I have one very important commentator with me if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Haru, I'm ZELLLOO's wife. I have been playing this game since the very early release of original Cytus in 2012. So I will be on commentary, I will be talking most, ZELLLOO's gonna be playing.
Yes, so I apologize for the silly setup for this with a webcam pointing at the Switch, but since it's a touch rhythm game and the Switch has no real good way of getting a capture when we're not docked, this is the best we can do. But hopefully you'll be able to see everything okay. So we'll go ahead and get started here. We'll go ahead and get time started when I start the first song. So this is just going to be a simple showcase. We're going to just showcase about 45 minutes of content. And thank you everyone who donated for the hidden song incentive. So we'll be seeing a few of those. So you get to see a few of the secrets in this game. But I'm going to go ahead and get started with the part from ZELLLOOO over here. And we'll get started in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so let me talk a bit about gameplay, then I will talk about the history of the game and other lore. Cytus is a pretty unique game. As you can see, there is a line going up and down on the screen, and when the line crosses with a circle, you have to press the circle. It's a touch game. On Switch release, you actually can use controller to play, but it's not as fun. Originally, Cytus was released on iOS and then on Android devices. Gladly, on Switch, the screen size is mostly unified, but if you play on iOS or Android device, your experience can differ a lot depending on the screen size. Cytus has several types of nodes. Since Alpha is a remake of the very first Cytus, the very first game actually made by Rayark, it has the simplest gameplay out of all Cytuses. It has tap nodes, it has hold nodes where you have to press the circle at the beginning of a long node and just hold it until the line goes until the end of the long node. And there are also slide nodes where you have to cross the circles in time, but you don't. There is a line connecting those circles, but you don't always have to follow the line. Sometimes it's smarter to use two fingers and not zigzag, but just slide down. There are a lot of tricks to play this game. And as Cytus is a music game, music is very important here. I personally really like the selection of music in Cytus. If you've been around, if you watched written game showcases or you play written games yourself, you may recognize a lot of names of composers and even some songs.
That was a very silly mistake at the end. So we can talk about the scoring because of that mistake. So scoring in this game, you have a base score that's out of 1,000,000. It's very combo based. So because I got 2 misses kind of near the end, I didn't lose too much combo, so didn't lose too many points. And then we have a little other scoring system that's called TP, which is more of an accuracy based score.
Your grade in this game is based on the money score. 95 and higher is gonna be S, and if you get all perfect, it's gonna be Million Master. But since Cytus has very heavy combo-based scoring, even just one miss with all other perfects can end up in being 95 or even less, depending on how many notes are in the song and where your miss was. If you get a miss in the middle of the song, it drops your score really much. When the game was first released, there was actually no TP in this game. There was only money score, but the timing window, the period in which you can press circle and get perfect, is pretty big. So players complained that the game is too easy, and then TP was introduced. Basically, there are two kinds of perfect in this game. There is regular perfect and there is colored perfect. In Cytus Alpha you can see a bigger animation for colored perfect. So colored perfects give you more TP than regular perfects, but it doesn't affect your money score. Any perfect just counts as perfect for money score. You can get a Million Master and you can have really low TP, like I think I had Million Master with about 89 or 90 TP. My accuracy is really bad, but ZELLLOO's accuracy is very good. This game can be a bit confusing since nodes kinda overlap with going up and going down. There's a color definition for the direction of the nodes. In Alpha they are blue when going up and yellow when going down. In original Cytus the colors were slightly less distinguishable.
There's a Million Master right there. So if you get all perfects, either rainbow or colorless, you get the Million Master, which is the highest grade you can get.
Yeah, you can also follow if you got any good or not by looking at the small rectangle underneath the combo number on top of the screen. If it's framed in orange, it means you're still having all perfects, but it can be really nerve-wracking. You're at the end of song and you're in the hard part and you see all orange. I'm like, shaking, 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 not getting good.
Yep. So I'm going to bounce around the different chapters. This game is divided into several chapters that Taru can talk about real quick.
So yeah, when the game was first released, there were no chapters at all, but then they thought of a million plan, which means they would release 100 songs divided into 10 chapters, and each chapter will be released after 100,000 downloads across all the platforms the game was available on. As you can see, the million plan was fulfilled. There are 10 chapters and there's also a bonus million chapter. So the game got 1 million paid downloads. The chapters 1 to 10 are somewhat the main storyline chapters. React is actually really famous for having good stories in their music games. If anyone played Demo, that story is amazing. There's even a movie about Demo's story. So the story in Cytus 1 is pretty simple. In the future, the Earth was affected by some kind of virus. We know from Cytus 2 that it's called Ender virus. And most of the people to survive were put in cryogenic sleep. Some of people decided to save their selves and their memories in electronic form. And the main character in Cytus 1 is Vanessa. She's one of the people who saved her memory in electronic form, and she discovers she's actually not her past self, but she's a robot carrying memories of a human called Vanessa. So it's a bit complicated moral story, but at the end the robot decides to pass the memories back to the human and stop existing pretty much.
I always struggle at the beginning of Green Eyes for some reason. The rest of it went pretty well though. So this game's soundtrack is really amazing. There's a lot of original tunes composed for the game, and there's also a lot of licensed tunes. There's a great balance of everything.
Yeah, earlier chapters like 1, 2 to 3, they mostly have more original composed music, and the farther we get, the more BMS songs and licenses we can see. Cytus used a lot of BMS songs. Some of them you can't even see in any other games, but some of them are like, really known and popular. You will see, well, maybe not in this showcase, but this game has Freedom Dive, this game has Conflict, other BMS songs. The difficulty system in this game is actually a bit on the weird side. It has two difficulties, easy and hard, and levels go from 1 to 9. But there is a huge difference in each level. Some 9s are really easy and some 9s are very, very hard. So you never know what you're gonna get just looking at the level. Though the learning curve in this game is pretty good. If you start from 1s, they're very easy and you slowly learn the techniques. It does not throw you right away into the level ZELLLOO is playing. ZELLLOO is mostly gonna play 8s and 9s, so it's on the harder end of the game, but don't be intimidated. If you want to try this game on Switch or on other mobile platforms, you can learn it. It's not that hard at the beginning. I honestly prefer playing this game on bigger screen because it's harder to cover the notes with your hands. You need to be very careful with hand positioning.
Yeah, I kind of chipped over my own fingers there and just didn't touch the screen anymore. That's the hard part about playing hand rhythm games where you need to touch. It's very easy to just trip yourself up like that.
Yeah, if the notes are positioned really close vertically on opposite directions, you may risk to get bats by fat fingering note and just hitting the other one as well. But this is also the game where you can benefit from fat fingering when you slide and you don't have to move your fingers too much. Someone in chat mentioned that it feels easier than playing on a smartphone. I think it depends on personal preference. Some people really like playing on smartphone because you don't have to move your hands so much. And if they have good control over their hand micro movements. Smartphone also makes it easier to play one-handed. I know some players one-hand million mastered some really tough songs.
Yeah, they're pretty wild. You should see those videos of the top players.
As I said, I prefer iPad. It has bigger screen than Switch, like probably twice as big. But Cytus Alpha is unique to Switch as far as I know. And it also has additional content, even though it's ported all the content from Cytus 1, and it added 2 more chapters. In original Cytus, you also have to get some chapters as DLC, and when you get Cytus Alpha, all the chapters are already there. You just have to fulfill conditions to unlock the access to them, but they're all there. Yes, we did get the incentive. We are going to see some hidden songs at the very end of the showcase.
I love Otome. Such a great song.
Yeah, this is one of the statement songs from Cytus.
I do want to quickly mention, since it was mentioned in chat, and I do kind of want to bring this up because this was kind of a thing that came up while we were preparing the schedule for the marathon. Rayark and other music game companies have kind of resorted more to using AI art in their games lately, and it's kind of unfortunate considering the original Cytus was well before that time. And you can see just by scrolling through the song list, this game has amazing art, hand drawn by very talented artists, and that's really why I wanted to still showcase Cytus Alpha, because it's just it really is a great showcase of what the human imagination can do.
Yeah, Cytus Alpha and Cytus 1 are cemented in stone already. They're not gonna change and not gonna be affected by that latest change. That change in Rayark's policy mostly affects Cytus 2, so if you don't agree with that policy, you probably should stick to Cytus 1 or Cytus Alpha if you really wanna play this game. Just saying. I still enjoy 1 way and Alpha way more over 2. Just personal preference and music choice. Even though most of the music in Cytus Alpha is electronic, there is a huge variety of genre, and composers' origins and even song names can be in different languages. So this song is interesting. It was so popular and people like it so much. There is a separate chapter based on just this song, having a side story about 2 girls that you can see on the banner for the song, and all the songs in that separate chapter called Night are somewhat based on this song. Really cool chapter, one of my favorites. I'm pretty sure Zill's gonna play one of the songs from the chapter later on. They actually visualized the term of side chapter in Alpha. You get a main storyline straight, and then side chapters go sideways when you navigate the chapters.
That's a nice Million Master to get in a marathon.
Yeah, it's a very fun chart. And unexpected triple hold at the end.
Yeah, I've actually lost a Million Master to that one before because my finger was in just the wrong spot.
I was keep forgetting about it. Yeah, Demo is another music game by Rayark. It has different mechanics. It's more like a piano game. I'm not a fan, but I know a lot of people like it. It has more piano style music and less movement on the screen. You just pretty much stay in the same spot and imitate piano playing.
It's one of my favorite songs, and look at that art. Like, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, Cytus Alpha has about 250 songs, I think. So, even though the game is limited in size, there is a lot to do. It's two difficulties for every song, so it's what, 500 difficulties, and then you have to Million Master every difficulties, and you have to go for best TP, ideally 100 TP. It's been more than 10 years for me, I'm still playing. If we got any donations to read it, right now would be a good time.
Sounds good. You are watching Power Up with Pride 2023 here on Twitch. We are running from June 23rd to 25th, 24 hours each day, benefiting the Trevor Project. To find out more about them, you can use the link in the panels below, or you can go to the trevorproject.org. If you're interested in donating, you can use the donate command in chat and use the schedule command to get the upcoming schedule. And all those donations are not just going to go to the Trevor Project, but you can put them towards a number of different incentives, including a Super Mario Odyssey showcase. So if you'd like the marathon to go on a little bit longer and see more of Super Mario Odyssey later, you can help us unlock the Dark and Darker Side showcase. That is about $230 from being met. For Super Mario Odyssey, there's also a poll for a risque Mario, and right now just boxers is in the lead by $1. I was not expecting to see that poll when I was updating the list there. But no, if you'd like to cover Mario up, you can donate to that side of the poll. Or if you'd like to see Mario just as boxers, you can help run up the score for that side as well.
Yeah, so I mentioned 250 songs for modern music games. That's a very small amount. If you take like any Konami music game, if you take DJ Max's latest release on Switch or on Steam.
Keep this song in mind for later, by the way. This will become relevant when we do the hidden song stuff.
Yeah, it's more like from 500 to 1,000 songs in some other games, so 250 looks very, very small, like a very small number in comparison. On the other hand, when the song number is limited, it's not as overwhelming. I know some games can feel overwhelming because there's so much to do and you just don't know what to do and you get lost. Yeah, you may notice the rectangle underneath the combo number is now green. That means ZELLLOO got a good somewhere. Useful indicator on one hand, but on the other hand, it may affect your motivation quite a lot. At least in this game, you can actually pause and quick restart if you feel like you want to do better on the song. Also, one good side of playing this on Switch, you don't get gestures, menu popping up or some other movement. I know I get it on iPad a lot. And some gestures you just can't turn off. Nice full combo.
Yeah, the nice thing about Cytus Alpha is that it actually comes with all the DLC with it. You don't even have to do anything. You just have to unlock it, but you don't have to pay anything. It comes with the game, and it even comes with some extra chapters too.
Yeah, it may look like the price is a bit on the high end, but when you consider you get everything in it, you don't have to pay for any DLCs. It's very much worth it.
All right. Play my other Sakuzo song. I love this song. It's probably my favorite Sakuzo song.
Yeah, Sakuzo is a Japanese composer. He got very much well known from competing in BMS contests, and he's released a lot of albums by now. He's featured in many other written games. If you ever watched any other other showcases by ZELLLOO when he's playing Pump It Up, there's a Sakuzo song in Pump It Up. Yeah, I see mentions of arcades in chat. There was supposed to be an arcade Cytus game at some point, but the release fell through, which is sad. But there are remnants of that, because Chapter Omega in Cytus Alpha includes the songs from the planned arcade game. Yeah, Chapter Omega and Chapter DJ Max are unique to Alpha release.
Yeah, the Switch releases of Rare X games are really good. I've played VOAs as well, and Was the second demo, not the original, but the one after. Let's see, we still got about another 10 minutes here before we start doing the hidden stuff, so I'm just trying to make sure I pace myself here.
Yeah, there are so many good songs in the game, it's hard to limit yourself.
I had to cut down quite a bit already, and I'm trying to make sure I don't overblow it on the time. Why don't you talk about Busby, because he's your friend.
Yeah, we're actually friends with Waspy. He's a good puppet up player, and he's composing some really good music. So at some point, Rayark was looking to discover new artists, and they announced a submission of songs. So I sent it to Waspy, and he submitted a couple of his songs which get into the game. He also has songs in demo, I think, in Pump It Up. But yeah, he's an active music games player.
His songs are always very colorful.
Yeah, he mostly does drum and bass and electronic music, but it has always a touch of his personal style. He has several songs in Pump It Up, and I think Video Out C is a very popular song. It's pretty cool.
This chart has a lot of really tricky slides.
Yeah, it's not a very complicated 9 performance-wise, but it's hard on reading. You have to remember where to switch hands, otherwise you're gonna miss or cover the note and not see it. I also find it very cool that Cytus gives you total score per chapter, which motivates you to play every song and do your best. I still haven't gotten a full million master on each chapter after like certain patch, because they changed the very early maps for more modern style in first 2 or 3 chapters, and some maps became much harder, so I had a full million master on early version of the game.
No, I will not be playing Freedom Dive. Freedom Dive, the hidden chart for that is the hardest thing in the game by far, and I will not be playing it because I am not confident in it. I have passed it once. Yeah,
Freedom Dive is very intimidating in this game, because you can't adjust your speed at all. Speed is hard programmed in Cytus, and some songs have forced slower speed. Freedom Dive is Psy.
Yep.
But one good side of speed in Cytus Alpha and Cytus 1 is it doesn't have forced visual speed changes. So it's either following BPM of the song accurately, or it has forced slowdown for the whole song. It doesn't have speed changes. Cytus 2 changed that. It has slow down, speed ups, and some of them are really rough. Yes, Do Not Wake is from the same Waspy who made Smells Like a Chocolate. There is also another song by Waspy in Cytus. There are 2 songs total.
I should talk about the DLC chapter since we're there.
Oh yeah, I mentioned before this, DJ Max chapter is unique to Cytus Alpha. So they've had at some point a cross event between Cytus and DJ Max. You can play some Cytus songs in DJ Max 5. And I find it really funny that they crossed Cytus 1 songs, but they used animations from Cytus 2. So confusing for me. Yeah, Cytus 1 does not have the speed changes, so it's much more comfortable in that regard. I know some of the boss songs in Cytus 2 really trip me off with sudden 10 times speed up. It says it's gonna speed up, but it doesn't say how much, and it's like, phew, it flies.
It flies.
Yeah. Zillo have not played Cytus 2, so he doesn't know that stuff.
No, I'll keep it that way. I've got my own copy of Alpha. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Cytus 2 music, but I really love the story there. That kept me playing.
Alright, so this one's from my buddy Fanto. He loves this song.
Yeah, but it's a very good addition to have DJ Max songs in Cytus, because DJ Max has amazing music. And they got some very good, very popular picks in there.
If there was a song to dance to in this showcase, this would be the one.
Yeah, it's some nice Latino song. Swings. Actually, another fun chapter. So this is a prologue, and before it was unique to another mobile platform Cytus release. There was a PlayStation Mobile Store release, but it didn't do too well, so it was shut down. And then this chapter was crossed to original Cytus and to Cytus Alpha. I'm not even sure 25 GB would be enough for DJ Max, considering it has so many backgrounds. Backgrounds actually may be the problem for DJ Max, because Switch is not that powerful and backgrounds require a lot of processing power, especially when you also have moving elements on top of that. I love this song, it's so good. But it has some syncopated rhythms, so it's a bit tricky. Depends on what kind of rhythms you prefer. Some people prefer just straight, continuous streams, and I personally prefer more like broken up stuff.
Okay, so I think we're gonna play 2 more songs from these DLCs, and then we will do the hidden songs, maybe 3.
Well, Night is not DLC anymore, it's a free chapter in original Cytus' Soul Symphony.
Symphony's cool. Symphony is basically a whole bunch of classical remixes.
Yeah, Symphony is classical remixes, but it's some of them are really weird, like dubstep Hungarian dances.
Well, don't worry, we've got the Birdie Requiem right here. I will be very passed away after this one.
Requiem is one of the hardest nights in this chapter. It has a lot going on. What's hard with Cytus is that sometimes you not only have to do different rhythms with different hands, but also have to do different movements, like one hand do taps and one hand do slides. And that's not easy to process, especially if your brain or moving capacity is different for your hands. If your left hand is weaker, it's gonna be really tricky. So over the years, when Cytus 1 was still active, they released chapters for early access as DLC, and then once Million Plan was fulfilled, they opened up the chapters for free download, but it was like several months after DLC release. The game you can get now has all 10 chapters open, plus 2 or 3 chapters also available for free, like Symphony and Night are free. I put so much money into original Cytus. I was not patient, I just wanted to play my game. So you see those zigzag slide nodes. Some players actually prefer to just two-finger slide those on the sides. And games are loaded pretty much. You only have to hit the circles, you don't have to precisely follow the lines. And in Cytus 2, some of those slides are pretty much impossible to hit as they shown because they cross each other. And you can't like pass your fingers through each other unless you're a ghost.
I think that's my first S.
It's a very nice score.
Yeah, that was actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's a very hard map.
I'll take it. Cool. Marathon PBs, always real.
Yeah, you can see one miss and one bad and how much it dropped your score just because combo is so much perfect in this game.
Alright, let's go back to night, and we'll actually play the night chapter. We're gonna play one of my favorite charts in the whole game.
So, as I mentioned before, this is the chapter based on Holy Night song. It has a story of its own. It's about two childhood friends, Iris and Rosabelle. Rosabelle is somewhat of a princess. Her family gets massacred, and then she wants revenge. She finds an evil magic book and becomes an evil queen, and Iris has to fight her for the peace. And sadly, in the end, Iris defeats Rosabelle. A bit of a tragic story, but the music is just awesome.
This chart is very, very slide heavy.
Yeah, it's not only slide heavy, but it also has tap notes in between slides and tap notes at the same time as slides. A lot to process. At least if there are no tap notes, you can just continuously slide even when the slide is broken. There are no forced heads for slides, and you can also hold the hold notes in advance in this game. Though, unlike Pump It Up, if you press hold late, it will still give you a good. Yeah, judgments are a bit complicated in Cytus. So if you like this game, if you want to learn more about lore, about characters and story and stuff, or if you want to see how the scoring works, there is a really good fandom wiki for Cytus, and it's pretty faithful. It has a lot of information, it has history stuff, so highly recommend. And it also has information on how to unlock the hidden songs that ZELLLOO's gonna showcase us really soon. Though I gotta say, there are hints for most of the hidden songs. You can see some tiny animations and you can guess there is something there, and you can also deduct that there is a hidden song by the numbers at the each chapter title screen. Because if you played every song and you see there's still something left, you didn't, the numbers is not full, then yeah, there's a hidden song.
That chart is so fun, but that chart is also really hard. Definitely one of the more difficult nines. Okay, and with that, we are gonna go ahead and start with the hidden song. So thank y'all again for meeting the incentive. Also, nice 573 max combo. Long series.
I think this is the only 9 in chapter 9.
I think so. Anyways, we're gonna go back to Slit back in chapter 8. You might have remembered to keep the song in mind, and that's actually gonna be our first hidden song. So you have to do something on the screen for each one. And Slit actually has 2 different hidden songs depending on which way you swipe. So if we swipe from here to here, you can see now the start is actually red, and this indicates you've activated the hidden song conditions. We're gonna go ahead and play Slit 0.
Yeah, hidden songs have different music mostly in Cytus. It's either remix or different arrangement or different part of the long version, like Slit. If you play all 3 songs in a row, they make a full song. It's a really, really good song. I so much love Slit, but the maps are so hard, especially the hidden ones. Yeah, when I see heavy movements like slides like this, I just prefer fat fingering them with 2 fingers. Safer. Yeah, if you don't know how to access, just check the wiki or try to guess by looking at the hints. Like precipitation shows you, for example, how there like there are 2 light strips running up and down the screen if you look for long enough on the title screen. So you guess you can do something with that and you slide and you get a song.
Really had a good start, and then I kind of lost at the end. Still pretty good run. So a lot of these hidden charts are quite hard. These will definitely be the hardest things I play.
I think most of them, if not all of them, are harder than originals. And you also can see what difficulty you're getting yourself into, because it does not show the difficulty until you get into the play field.
I think actually precipitation might actually be easier. I don't find precipitation be that hard, but we're not going to be playing that. So we're going to go to the next one. We're going to play First Gate Overdrive. So you highlight First Gate and you just tap on the title and you can see the overdrive pop up right there. And this version is really nasty.
Such a good song, though.
Oh, it's great, but oh my god, I'm scared. Yeah, this chart has a bunch of jacks in. It hurts fingers.
Yeah, since the screen doesn't have any bones, you have to just like put all the strain on your fingers, on your wrists actually. Wrists hurt too, and you play for a long time, and your back hurts because you have to look down unless you have a setup where your device is high up. Always stretch if you play in the same position for a long time, and don't forget to hydrate, that's important. Even playing hand games. So you see those fast-paced tapping notes, but because the timing window is so huge in this game, you can actually use 2 fingers stacked vertically and cut your effort in half, and it's still... You're not gonna get like very good TP, but it's still gonna be perfect.
Oh, that was a really good ending. Like the second half was really, really, really solid. Yeah, that chart's actually one of the most tiring for me because you have to hit the screen so much. It
That's why
really
you should
tires me
double
out.
stack and play like this.
I can't. My index fingers are too powerful.
Yeah, we have different play styles, as you can tell.
Okay.
Zil is just trying to do everything as it looks like it's intended, and I like shortcuts. My hands are not so... Don't listen to me so well, let's say so.
Okay. So we've got 2 more songs, both in the retro chapter, which is actually based on chiptunes. So for Hayfields, we're going to click on this. Right on the left is Structure, and that unlocks Infinity Fields. And this has a mean trick at the end.
Yeah, Chapter Retro is one of the latest chapters, and the later the chapter was released, the more complex the maps get. It's like they finally figured out what to do and how to make the game hard.
Oh, it's hard. It definitely is hard.
I'm pretty sure they, for re-release on Switch, they changed some of the maps for like older stuff to modernize them a bit. Because when I play original Cytus and compare it to Alpha, there is some minor differences. Oh yeah, this pattern is so confusing.
That
And you
part's
have
so hard.
slides and also tap in the middle, like in the corner. Always throws me off, and I think it was Freedom Dive that used those a lot. This site also teach you to read slow and read fast. Kinda thankful to having some songs forced to be slow. Helps me with some other games reading like Chrono Circle. Yeah,
There's a mean trick coming up right here where it actually covers notes by the next note. Right here. And right here.
there are two notes, but you don't know until you miss it.
Yep. It's so mean.
And it's in every difficulty, even on easy.
Alrighty, y'all. That brings us to our last hidden song. Gonna be the end of the showcase here. Very ironic that we're gonna be in the retro chapter, but for Conflict, we tapped the screen a bunch, and we're actually gonna be playing the normal version of Conflict.
Yeah, ZELLLOO's not playing Funny Conflict. I have troubles playing Funny Conflict because it makes me laugh so hard every time I hear it.
Alright, this is definitely the most difficult chart I'm playing. Conflict is absolutely brutal in this game.
Yeah, the chiptune version was made specially for this chapter, and if you know how the conflict sounds normally, you're gonna be laughing really hard. It's so funny.
In a desperate conflict with a ruthless enemy.
Also one of the hardest songs in this game, if you don't count Chapter Red. So speaking of conflict, I think Cytus was actually the second game to use it. I know Sphere was the first to announce using conflict, but it took them 2 years to add the song into the update, and Cytus added Chapter Retro just about a week after Sphere. They teamed up. Sphere is how I learned about the song. When I saw the announcement, I was like, oh, what is the song? I want to hear it. And then,
Also a great game.
and then I fell in love. Yeah. Sphere is a written game entirely made by Sta. You may know him for his songs in other games. And it's a bit similar concept. It has circles on the screen that you have to tap, but it's more of a 3D based game. Maybe one day we'll showcase that too. There are so many mobile-based games that are not being properly showcased, mostly because it's like technical difficulties to properly capture it or set up a camera.
Enemy bent on conquest. Let battle commence.
And if you wonder what language this song in, it's not a language, it's just coined up words. And fun fact, the song is sung by Cranky's wife. in Cytus, if you see while it's a team between Cranky and his wife.
I'm sorry, I bumped the camera for a second there. Even on an anti-slip mat, that can happen. Anyways, pretty good run. That may or may not be a PB, I'm not sure. We'll see real quick. Okay, it's not, but it's still pretty good for me. It's a tough one. Anyways, that is gonna be it for the showcase. Thank you all for having this. This is a really cool game that I wanted to show off, and I'm glad we could really showcase some of the great things about this game, like the great art, the fantastic music, the great design. It kind of fits into, I guess, the lore as well, just where we're just kind of finding our human memories and just remembering that what we create really truly is amazing, just like this marathon. And like I said earlier in the marathon, this is my 5th Pride that I've participated in, and I really appreciate the staff and everyone always giving it their all, creating such great runs, great memories for such a good cause. Y'all are wonderful human beings, so thank you again. Happy Pride Month. Is there anything you want to say, Aru?
Happy Pride Month to everyone, and if you want to support your fellow LGBTQ people and just help, consider donating. It's a good cause.
So that's gonna do it for me. Thank y'all for watching, and stay tuned for the rest of the marathon, and I will hopefully see y'all in a future marathon again. So thanks, y'all.
Thank you.
You are watching Pauper's Pride 2023. Coming up next is going to be speedrun of the Lamalana remake from Grobsy. And as we're getting set up for that, we'll talk a little bit about the charity that we are raising money for, which is the Trevor Project. For the last 20 years, the Trevor Project has worked to save young lives, providing support through their free and confidential crisis programs on platforms where young people spend their time, online and on the phone. They do this through the Trevor Lifeline, the Trevor Chat, through Trevor Text, and through Trevor Space. They also go beyond their frontline crisis services to invest in education, outreach, and advocacy resources. The Trevor Lifeline is a 24/7 lifeline launched in 1998. The Trevor Chat is a crisis service for youth that prefer to talk through online instant messengers, through the DMs. Trevor Text is a similar service through texting on your phone. And Trevor Space is the world's largest safe space social networking site for LGBTQ youth. They also focus on research on LGBTQ suicidology, providing regular evaluations and surveys to ensure that their services reduce the risk of suicide and help them learn of the mental health issues affecting LGBTQ youth. And they also advocate to protect LGBTQ rights. They work at the local, state, and federal levels to advocate for legislation that protects the rights of LGBTQ people. If you would like to support the Trevor Project's efforts, you can do so by using the donate command in chat to get to the donation page. And all of speedruns, the entire event all weekend long, is going to be supporting the Trevor Project. All of the donations are going to go to the Trevor Project, and you can also apply them to a number of different incentives. That includes using those donations to vote in polls. The next 2 polls that are closing, one is for the Mega Man 2 Atari D-Make speedrun later on today, to choose which soundtrack we're going to listen to while we play through that game. And the options there are either Crunchy or Smooth, and Crunchy has a pretty hefty $100 lead. The other poll that will be closing relatively soon is for Super Mario Odyssey, which is for Risque Mario. You could choose how Risque Mario is going to be during that run. Either just boxers or all covered up. And just boxers has a $1 lead there. So if you'd like to flip-flop that or run up the score for just boxers, you can put your donations towards that. There's also a number of different showcases you can put those donations to make the event longer, to see more speed runs and help us raise more money for charity. And that the next showcase that needs to be met is again for Super Mario Odyssey. We are $200 short of seeing the Dark and Darker Side showcase for that run. If you want to get caught up on donations here, during our last one, we got a $30 donation from Exo Dragon that had no donation comment, but thank you very much for donating. And that donation did go towards the aforementioned Dark and Darker Side showcase. If you'd like other ways to contribute to the Trevor Project, you can also get a shirt from the Yeti. Power Up with Pride has partnered with the Yeti for this event to bring shirts based on various runs throughout the event. The awesome designs will only be along as long as the marathon is. So A, if you'd like more time to sell more shirts, donate to meet those showcases so the event goes on longer, but also B, you should buy the shirts right away anyway. They're fantastic looking shirts. All 3 designs are really, really, really awesome. And you can see all those at theyeti.com. $5 from each shirt will go directly to the Trevor Project. I know there is a Final Fantasy IV design. There is a Kirby design. I forget the other design off the top of my head, so I'm going to look real quick here. See what the other design is. Design is Snack. That's right. I forgot there's a I forgot the other side's Burger. Sorry, you really called me off guard. I forgot what it was. It's the Burger King design. The 3 shirts are absolutely fantastic. I'd love to pick up all 3 of them. I'm definitely going to pick up at least one. Again, $5 from each shirt is going to go to the Trevor Project. And if you'd like to donate, you can use the donate command in chat. We're going to keep getting set up here for the La Milano remake. So make sure you stay tuned.